Staci Kirk is a six-time cancer warrior, empowerment speaker, and award-winning leadership coach. Now, with raw honesty and fierce grace, she's transforming lives with her new book, Hold On Sis, Let Me Take My Wig Off. Staci Kirk, welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having
Of
me.
course,
I'm
of course.
excited.
Yes, me too. Let's dive on in and talk about this book. The title draws you in. Hold on, sis. Let me take my wig off. It's bold. It's beautifully raw. What inspired you to take your wig off?
I think the authenticity of it, for one, true story, when I was going through chemo, I think I've lost my hair maybe 4 or 5 times by now, but I just couldn't get with the wigs. And I realized that that was just shedding off, the inauthentic, the have to be strong, the have to make sure that you're presenting a certain type of way. And so I presented what I was going through and took that wig off and became my authentic self. I knew that my voice would help someone. And so by being authentic and really working with what I had, which was a bald head, I was showing people it was okay that whatever you're going through, it's okay to go through that.
Awesome. Now, you've taken this wig off literally and metaphorically. What inspired you to share your journey so openly? It's such a vulnerable position to be in. You've gone through so much, you've overcome so much. Why share your journey so openly with others?
I think we don't do enough of that. I think that we have been conditioned to have a strong face, make sure that we're always presenting a certain type of way. And I think that my authenticity and my transparency, I knew was going to help someone else realize that they could get through whatever it was they were going through as well. And so sharing my story, whether it be on social media, whether it be through my new book, I wanted people to know it's okay to be you, and it's okay to go through obstacles, and that you can bounce back. You can keep living after such things as diagnoses or whatever, might come your way. And so I know that transparency is helping someone, even if it's one person, it's helping someone know that they can make it through.
Now, you faced cancer six times. How did your definition of strength and resilience evolve after each diagnosis? Did it strengthen you each time, or was it a mixed feeling through that?
I think it strengthened me in different ways. So early in my life, because I've been fighting cancer since 14, I'm now 51, which is a blessing in itself. But I think, early on, I was that strong person. I remember when I was 23 getting my diagnosis of Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I remember comforting my mom and my ex-husband now, but I remember being the person comforting them after hearing that I have cancer. And so the evolution has been the strength in knowing that it's okay to take care of myself. It's okay to, focus on me and require that the people around me do the same. And so the strength has changed throughout, this evolving diagnosis after diagnosis. I also realized that I don't have to always say I'm okay. And that's what I did. Can I help you? Is there something I need? People really wanted to help me through these journeys. And I'm like, oh no, I'm good. And I wasn't good. And so I find myself being stronger and stronger by understanding that it's okay to not be okay, literally. And now I'm stronger than ever because I do have those rest days. I do rely on my friends and family when I can't, I just can't. There are times when still I can't get out of the bed because of the lasting effects of chemo and radiation and all the surgeries that I've had. And so I'm okay with saying, hey guys, I can't do it today. And I wasn't that way before. And so I feel like that's a different type of strength.
Really proud of you. Because you've taken like something that's unimaginable. You didn't expect that in your life, and you didn't expect to go through it so many times. But like there's a real beauty in your strength. Even to be able to encourage someone else that's your mom or your ex-husband or anybody around you that's like taking the news hard, and you have to like I'm the one dealing with it. But,
Right,
but I'm
right.
comforting you. Like that's a
Hmm.
beautiful silent strength at some points too, where you just kind of have to
Yeah,
be alone in that feeling, and then you're like, I'm okay, I don't need anything. But like even
right.
your silence is strong. My God.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
there's millions of people in the world that are dealing with chronic illnesses. And there's a lot of misconceptions about thriving through those illnesses. So I'm really glad that you spoke to that. Like, can you address like some of the misconceptions or challenges with those narratives, and how people can be better, like encouraging people to be better support systems?
I get this a lot because people want to help. That's one of the, and I start with the patient themselves. I like talking to them to say, you know what, I understand that you don't know, because you don't know what you need. Honestly, when you get that type of diagnosis, so many things are going on in your head and you don't know what you need. And I start with them by saying, let people do something. Think of things. That is your way of loving on them during this time, because they need to do something for you. If they can't do something, they feel, restless or like they're not contributing to your recovery or to your healing. And so I start there. And then I say to, people who are loved ones of cancer patients or any, traumatic illness, just ask, but be soft about it. Understand that we don't know what we need. We don't know what we want, and be patient with us. And also, don't impose what you think you should be doing or they should be doing or your thoughts on them, because what you think their treatment should be may not be what they want to do, and be understanding around that. And be strong for each other, or take moments to not be strong at all and just let it all go. If you need to cry, cry. And this is the other thing, and don't laugh, but this is the other thing that I like to tell people. You don't have to relate to cancer patients. People always come up to me and say, oh yeah, my aunt died last year for that. We don't want to hear that in that moment. And so be strong enough to understand silence is okay. Just being present is okay. And you can just be around someone and let them know, hey, I'm here for you, and leave it at that. Because we don't want to hear about your aunt who passed away. We don't want to hear about, even though people feel like they have to relate and that's the only way they know how, it is not feeling good for us right now. And so just keep that in mind. Those are the things that I think I try to impart upon people. And again, the most important part is, don't put your ideas of what you think we should be doing on us, because it's our diagnosis. At the end of the day, it's our diagnosis. We have to do what's best for us.
A great point that people, and I think a lot of times people think that they're helping you by making the suggestions or telling you what you should try, telling you should
Right.
rest, telling you what you should do, and this is a very
Yes,
personal
yes.
journey. And so, I think that's a great note to add. And I think it can help a lot of people who might have family or friends or even be going through it themselves. And I hope that you help a lot of people today. Now, I love that you've like transformed this experience into a purpose. You even put it in your
Yeah,
name
yeah.
now, and you're speaking and you're
hmm
coaching. What's one message that you hope every woman or really even every person carries after hearing your story?
That adversity and challenges, that's not your story. That is just not even a page, to be honest. You can make it through anything that is presented with you. I like to tell, especially people that I coach, you came here with everything you need in order to withstand whatever comes your way. You came here with the tools. You came here with, all of everything that you need. And so stop looking outside. Stop worrying about you're not going to make it. Stop, just understand and go within. A lot of times we don't take the time to go within. It's in there because you were designed or built for this. You were built for this. And a lot of times we let things, and it's human, because I always say, feel how you feel first, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. Start looking at the tools. Well, what do I have? What are my gifts? What ideas do I have? How can I pivot with what has been presented? I've lost my job. I've been in corporate America for years. I've lost my job twice. And it was a blow because, women, sometimes we identify that's our identity, how we show up, our titles, etc. But I had to say, okay, now what is this? Is this a message? Is this, my faith telling me you're supposed to be an entrepreneur anyway, so stop it. I had to take that thing and turn it around. And a lot of times you do. You have to look at it for what it is. Let it hurt for a minute, cry, throw some things, do what you got to do, and then recognize that this is all a part of your journey, and every step is making you closer to who you're supposed to be.
You really personally inspired me today to be true to how you feel, true to, what you're facing in that
Yeah.
moment, and you face it head on, and you don't run from it, you don't hide it, you take it on the chin. If it's a good day, it's a good day. If it's a tough day, if it's a day you want to be by yourself, it's a day you need company, you need support around you. But in those moments when you don't feel strong or you didn't feel strong, what helped you tap into like your own inner power to keep going?
I always say I'm still here for a reason. That's my big thing, that I haven't quite yet fulfilled my purpose yet. I mean, think about it, 6 times with cancer, and I've withstood other, traumas throughout my life. And so, I've been through molestation, bad divorce, all of those things. And so, you kind of got to sit back and say, now, how much more can a person take? But the weight of that can be so heavy. And I always want to translate it to, okay, you gave me this for a reason. What do I need to do for it? And I realize that a lot of times I'm just the vessel so that somebody else is blessed. And so I don't get too down on myself. I don't get too down and out, because I realize that this isn't about me. This is about all the other people that are going to see what I've gone through and be encouraged and be inspired. And then there's times where I just don't want to be bothered, quite honest, and I'm okay with that. If I want to, just eat junk food and watch movies all day, binge watch something, that's what I do. I give myself permission to not be okay for a day or to go silent for a day, because I need to regroup and just kind of look at what the vision really is. Okay, God, what's going on? Like what's really going on? And reset. It's okay to reset and take a moment and understand you don't have to be strong in every moment. And that was a hard lesson for me. I felt like, in every relationship, in every job, in every position, I had to be the best. I had to be the strongest. I had to work the hardest. And I realized I just don't. I don't. And I'm okay with that.
I like that you say that, because I feel like we're, regardless of what we're going through in life, we can tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves, a lot of expectation. And then sometimes we put these things on ourselves, and then you hold yourself to the fire to get it done, And so
Yeah.
what that big takeaway for me today is giving yourself permission to just to be patient, to be quiet,
Yes.
to be still, to set boundaries,
Yeah.
And I think that is, I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. And I think that you've withstood so much, and for you to use your voice, because you could have survived all this and just been content in the world. Like, I'm still here and I'm
Right.
present, but you are taking your experience and you're using it to inspire and empower other people. And for that, I thank you. I thank you for that, truly.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you.
So how can we get a copy of Hold On Sis, Let Me Take My Wig Off?
Okay, so it's on Amazon, but it's also available through my website, iamwarriorcoach.com, but it's also available on Amazon. I encourage people to get this book, not because I wrote it, but because I think sometimes we need a reality check. I think sometimes we look at things as these huge mountains that will never be moved because they're in our way, and woe is me. And I want people to read this to say, oh my gosh, if one person can withstand all of this, there's more for me. There's more out there for me. I can withstand more. I can take more. And it obviously is geared towards women, but anyone could pick up this book and understand that, being a black woman in corporate America, what that did, dealing with substance abuse and a bad marriage, all these things, plus 6 times, it's a lot. And what's interesting is the 6th time, when I wrote the book, the 6th time, I was actually getting ready to start treatment and going into a huge surgery. It was kind of like I had survived 5 times. Let me write this book. And in the midst of writing the book, I got the 6th diagnosis. And it was almost like, okay, if this is not telling me what my purpose is, I don't know what is. I'm just built different. I look at things differently. Things come my way for a reason, and I know that it's not because woe is me, it's because I got to do something with it. And so this is really my first book to encourage people to do more. I'll have another book coming out called Fearless pretty soon. And the reason why I titled it Fearless is because I realized that, people say, well, how did you do it? How did you survive all of this? And I always say that I've never attached fear to a diagnosis. Never. It was when I get a diagnosis, I never say, oh no, or, go in the corner and cry. I always look the doctor in the eyes and say, okay, well, what are we going to do? What's the treatment plan? Let's move forward. And because of that, I feel like that is how I've been able to overcome and continue to survive, because I did not attach fear to that diagnosis. So, yeah.
Incredible. My goodness. Well, I'm excited about this book, all the books to come, and how you're going to continue to use your voice to inspire people all around the world. Now, before we wrap up today, I have a few lightning round questions for you. Is that okay?
Oh, let's
Okay.
do it.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under by Shania Twain.
If your life were a movie, what would it be called?
It would literally be called Hold On Sis, Let Me Take My Wig Off.
Movie coming soon.
Right.
Coffee, tea, or something stronger?
Coffee in the morning, something stronger in the evening.
What's your most used emoji in your text messages?
The face palm. I'm always
Okay. What's the one thing you never leave the house without besides your phone?
my wallet.
Okay, that's fair. What's a fashion item that always boosts your confidence?
Uh, I'm so bad at fashion, so I'll just say it's not a fashion item, but it's my the bra with the form in it because I've had a mastectomy.
Okay,
So
okay. All right. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Neither?
neither, but if I had
Okay.
to pick, I probably would say
Okay.
morning person.
What's one word your best friend or closest family member would use to describe you?
Unstoppable.
That's the third book. All right, that's two. If you had a superpower for one day, what would it be?
Invisibility.
So you all can stop calling me.
I just want to, just for one day, be invisible.
Last one. What's something on the list of your list that you still want to check off? What's one big thing that you want to check off your list that you want to do? You want to
Sheesh.
travel?
You know,
Okay, you got it.
I would say
Hmm.
travel more. I definitely would say travel
And where
more.
would you
Yeah.
like to go?
I want to go to Paris, France. I've never been.
Paris, France. That's a good one. That's a good one. And you will
Yep.
go. And you will have your
Oh,
book
yes. We
signing. Yeah,
spoke it, so
yeah.
it's going to
That's
happen.
right. Stacy Purpose Kirk said it.
Yeah.
Stacy Kirk, it has been a true pleasure having you as a guest right here on the Chundria Show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a great time. Fun time.
Fun for me too.